After having success on the big screen in live action form, well, actually, but in a CGI form for this titular character, and then following up with a comeback to TV Saturday mornings, he eventually got himself another direct to TV film. Here comes your favorite Great Day and those meddling kids, and this time they're heading to the land down under where they encounter a real legendary batty creature. Get ready, because here's my review of Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire. Like, man, this is Big D's entertainment rankings and reviews, right, Scoop? Right, Rick. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2003 direct video anime adventure flick Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire. Released by Warner Brothers along with Hanna-Barbera, directed by Scott Gerald, and ran by Mark Turos. This, of course, is the fifth overall Scooby-Doo animated feature film released on video. Now, this is the first, but it's the first direct-to-video film to have the flatter, bright art style and visuals of his current new hit series, What's New Scooby-Doo, which premiered a half a year before this was released. The film came out on DVD and Blu-ray as not Blu-ray. Blu-ray wasn't around yet. This came to video and DVD. My apologies. On March 4th, 2003. Now, of course, this was departed from the darker shading effects used in the previous four films. Of course, since there was no actual direct-to-video film out in 2002 due to the fact of the release of the Scooby-Doo movie that starred Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, and others. But this was also the first to return to the original format where the monster is not real and the first return to a lighter tone than that of the prior and darker Scooby made for video films. It's also served as Joseph Barbera's first solo animated production effort after his longtime partner William Hanna, who passed away back in 2001, and one of two direct-to-video films to reunite the original voice acting cast. Well, most of them anyway. Which, of course, Frank Welker was back, plus Casey Kasem returned, Nicole Jaffe and Harry North returned as well. And even though Don Misick had been dead for almost 6 years, this would also be Welker's first outing as Scooby Doo. And believe me, let me tell you, since of course Welker was already doing the character on What's New Scooby Doo, I'd say he does just as good a job as Misick did. Anyway, let's get on with the story. While traveling through Sydney, Australia, the Mystery Inc. gang head to a music contest being held at an outback landmark called Vampire Rock, which they later learn got its name from a mythological Australian vampire called the Yowie Yahoo. Upon their arrival, they reunite with their friends the Hex Girls, which would mark their second appearance in a Scooby-Doo feature after appearing in Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and of course they would also appear in an episode of What's New Scooby-Doo as well. And encounter festival managers Daniel and Russell, Daniel's grandfather Malcolm, who disapproves of the festival, and companion bands two skinny dudes. Upon learning one of the performers was kidnapped by vampires, which scared off several others, Mystery Inc. inquire further. Daniel and Russell explain that a band called Wild Wind were turned into vampires by the Yowie Yahoo sometime prior and are said to haunt Vampire Rock ever since. Taking the case, Fred enters Mystery Inc. in the contest to lure out the Yowie Yahoo. While practicing, they are approached by Wild Wind's former manager, Jasper Ridgway, and his current band, the Bad Omens. Suspicious of Ridgway, who they suspect might be forcing the Bad Omens to dress up as vampires to scare off their competition, Mystery Inc. splits up. Fred, Daphne, and Velma investigate Ridgway's trailer, where they find Ridgway kept mementos from Wildwind, although he is nowhere to be seen. It is later revealed that Ridgway was trying to get the Hex Girls to sign him as their manager, which we would find out later on. Shaggy and Scooby stay by the food stands, as you can imagine, but are attacked by Wild Wind, who later kidnap the Bad Omens and Hex Girls. Chasing Wild Wind into nearby caves, Shaggy and Scooby stay outside while Fred, Daphne, and Velma venture inside. The trio stumble onto used camera and film equipment before they are chased out by the vampires. They jump into a pool of water to escape them, saving Shaggy and Scooby from a pack of dingoes in the process. Vampires corner the gang, but the dingoes temporarily scare them off. The Yahoo attempts to attack the group, but Scooby's collar reflects the approaching sunrise, dispelling it. Seemingly immune to the sun, Wildwind returns to chase the gang until they and Daniel trap them. Now I'm going to go to the last bit of the ending and the unmasking of the villain. So stop this video at once. Once I do the 5 seconds, and if you've seen this movie already, please continue. I think you know the rest. Okay, you've been warned. The gang subsequently unmasked Wildwind, revealing Russell and two skinny dudes. They explained that they wanted to reunite as Wildwind and restart their career, only to learn they were not allowed to enter the contest. In retaliation, they modified their costumes to better resemble vampires, created a hologram of the Yowie Yahoo, sent most of their kidnapped competitors on free Great Barrier Reef scuba diving tours, and left the Hex Girls for dead in the outback when they refused. Having rescued the Hex Girls, Malcolm returns them safely while Wildwind is arrested and Daniel names Mystery Inc. the contest winners by default. The gang and the Hex Girls put on a big celebratory performance of the Scooby-Doo Where Are You theme song in the end. Yep. And that, I will say, is end of story. So, what did I think of Scooby Doo and the Legend of the Vampire? I will say I love this movie. This is definitely up there alongside the old school Scooby Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, which this is probably going to surpass that one. But I think of the recent Scooby movies we got from the late 90s and into the 2000s to today, since I haven't watched all of them, this one really takes the cake. I have to give the film props for why it did. I mean, this brought back the field to the great Scooby series. With What's New Scooby Doo being so successful on the WB network, on the Kids WB block at the time, I will say this is a great comeback. The music was composed by Rich Dickerson, which also included new takes on some of the music we heard, just background music we heard, just like in the first three Scooby Doo series, as a matter of fact, which I thought that was a big surprise. Now, of course, and this came out just shortly after the 30th anniversary of Scooby's second series, the new Scooby Doo movies. Which reminds me, this also marked the comeback of Hanna-Barbera's the Zooming HB box, like what you saw at the end of various shows from 1968 to 74, starting with the Wacky Races and then finish off with shows including the original Super Friends, Goober and the Ghost Chasers, Inch High Private Eye, and several others. Making it the second time a Hanna-Barbera logo got to be reborn, aside from the CGI Swirling Star, which was used at the end of the Powerpuff Girls. Which that kind of surprised me. I was, wow. Anyway, I've got to admit, I like the animation they used for this movie. I mean, well, I didn't have the WB just yet. I got it, unfortunately, almost before it was even merged into the CW, with the now defunct UPN. Still, I have to say I did enjoy this and what have you, but I did, however, catch the re-airings of it on Cartoon Network, which that brought some good moments and made it feel like I was seeing a great classic Scooby Doo all over again, but in a new way, you know. But anyway, for Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire, it was so good. Now, the same main voice acting cast would return one more time in another film that came out shortly thereafter in Scooby-Doo and the Monster of Mexico, which was released a half a year later that same year in September of 2003. Now, a show, now not the show, but the movie's music's exceptionally good. Of course, it's got the Scooby Doo "Where Are You" theme song before it began, done by Crystal Harris, who you mostly knew best by just her first name, Crystal, with a K. Who you mostly would remember her from the song Supergirl from Disney's The Princess Diaries. There's also some other good songs, including songs from the Hex Girls and I forgot the name of that. I know there's another good song there, "Get Away." Yeah, I forgot who sung that song, but that song's pretty cool. For our voice acting cast, we have Kasem once again reprising his role as Shaggy, as he was now currently back to doing that character on What's New Scooby Doo. Frank Welker voices Fred once more, as well as Scooby Doo. The first movie he would voice Scooby in, and he would continue to do that to this day. He does a good job at both of them. And of course, he's one of my favorite voice actors, Frank Welker is to this day. Well, he's always been one of my favorites. Nicole Jaffe is back after all these years as Velma for the first time ever. That was very good. And Hera North as Daphne as well. Sure was nice to have them back. Now, for the rest of the voice acting cast, we have Phil Lamar as Daniel and the character King, Jeff Bennett voicing Jasper and Jack, Kevin Michael Richardson, who has done numerous voice acting work for cartoons like Family Guy and several others, and he also went on to do Joker for the Batman the following year, voiced Malcolm, and did the Yowie Yahoo's vocal effects. For the Hex Girls, they're the same voice actress as before, I'm pretty sure. Please stand by. Okay, sorry about that. I had to recheck my source. The Hex Girls are once again voiced by the same voice actresses. Jennifer Hale once again voices Thorn, as well as the character of Queen. Kimberly Brooks did the voice of Luna, and Jane Wiedlin of the Go-Go's once again voices Dusk. We have Michael Neal voicing Russell in Dark Skull and the character Matt Marvelous. The Harry, aka Stormy Wears, and Barry, aka Lightning Strikes, those are the members of Wild Wind. Those two are voiced by Tom Kenny, who, of course, was voicing a certain SpongeBob SquarePants at the time. He would also lend his voice to the Batman as well, as he voiced Penguin. So you got to admit the voice acting cast is very good. So with everything said, I loved the atmosphere of what Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire had to offer. I didn't find much of anything wrong with it. It brought back all great memories of current and classic Scooby-Doo and what have you. It had some great characters, some we've seen recently and some new ones, plus great music, and enough said about it. So overall, it's a good movie. Would I recommend it? I would say yes, go for it. You will love it. So what did you think of Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. And join me next time when I bring to you a spoiler-free review of Screamboat. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other Scooby movies. Here's a couple of the recent ones. In the upper left-hand corner, check out my review of Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which introduced us to the Hex Girls. or go to the upper right hand corner and see my recent review of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, which has now become one of the most viewed vids on the channel. It's done so well since I had come up earlier today. And the bottom left hand corner is a Saturday morning TV log on what's new Scooby-Doo. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.